And that music right... Whoa, wait. What the shit? What's going on here? Huh? Wait, what? Was my mic on the whole time? What is this extra tab that was added? I didn't put that there. The fuck? What is this? How do I get rid of this? Media source 2. Hey guys, sorry, turns out my mic was on? But why? What is this new media source? How the fuck do I get rid of this? There we go. That's better. That's fucking weird. Why the hell was that an option or thing there? Okay. Fucking OBS and its weird bullshit. Okay, now let's set everything up. Boop, boop. Chat is working. Nice. There we go. Let's get... Nope, wrong one. Nope. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay. Everything so far seems to be working as intended, for the most part, except for that weird extra audio slide filter that was put... Fucking OBS. Fucking weird shit. Thanks for ruining my opening, OBS. I thought I was gonna unmute my mic, but it turns out... God damn it. Oh, I had a plan! I had a plan for how this was gonna go. I was gonna smoothly transition in from the music. I was gonna compliment it. It's like, oh, that was Elden Ring, blah, 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 blah. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, that bugs me! That bugs me so bad! Oh. You planned something out for so long, and then some unforeseen, nonsensical bullshit happens. Why? Why was there that extra audio tab? Whatever. Why? Why from this media source? It's a moving wallpaper! I know what this media source is. It's the new moving wallpaper I have in the background for the stream. Why would it have audio? It's a GIF! Fuck. God damn it. Piss me off. Oh, I'm tilted. I'm tilted. We haven't even started reacting to the bad Elden Ring takes yet, and I'm already tilted. God damn it. Okay. Let's do a bit of setup here. Okay, first off, hey, everybody, hello. How is the audio quality? How do I sound? How did the music sound? Back there, how does everything sound? There's going to be a bit of a stream delay, I know, so I gotta wait a moment. I'd say OBS is... It's a bit taxing on the hardware. You're definitely expected to have a much better CPU than I have. Sounds good. Good to hear. Wait for a couple more confirmations just before we continue. Just want to be sure. Because I've had streams before where the audio... I've done streams before where the audio was awful, and no one told me that the audio was awful. Good enough? Okay, Dan, okay. Oh, really? It peaks? But I have it set so that it shouldn't peak. Gaia says it's good. Okay. Alright, I trust you guys. We'll say it's good. We'll say it's good. Now let me just double, triple, quadruple check something. Oh. I loved it when I was able to do all this technical stuff behind the scenes before I had to start streaming and YouTube did all its... changed its nonsense for how streaming works. Okay, that's good. So let's see if this works. It works! Wonderful. Okay. Let's get into this. So, the premise, the topic on hand for this video, the setting, the inspiration, if you would, is Elden Ring. After 111 hours, I beat the game, got the age... Oh yeah, I should say, spoiler warnings for Elden Ring if you haven't played Elden Ring yet. There's going to be Elden Ring spoilers throughout this fucking stream. So, if you haven't played... if you haven't played Elden Ring, this is not the stream for you. Because everything shall be spoiled. This is a spoiler-filled Elden Ring stream. His Sasuke! I see his Sasuke there. Damn near all the people I like to watch are live today with them. I'm sorry, his Sasuke. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know, man? I'm not psychic. I'm not omniscient. Good to see you, though. So, just to give you guys an idea of, the totality of my Elden Ring experience here. Got the Age of Stars ending for Ranni. Have beaten all of the main bosses. Leveled up a weapon to the highest. Got all the legendary Ash summons. I did a bunch of side bosses. Like the Lich Dragon, Dragon Soldier, Real Ancestor. I've done I want to say the overwhelming majority of the side content. I beat Melania. I haven't done any PvP. That's the one part of Elden Ring I have not touched. I do not like From Software PvP. I just don't. Never have. That's just me. I played Elden Ring as a single player game. As you guys can see, I got shit done. And you guys know, if you've watched my previous videos, I usually play From Software games, specifically the Souls games, with mods, and I make my own personal easy mode. I didn't do that with Elden Ring for, I want to say 80% of the game. I didn't use any mods. I just played Elden Ring normally. No mods. It is, I guess we can get into some Elden Ring opinions while we're here, and then we'll get into the more nitty-gritty stuff. So, Elden Ring. Great game. The first, I want to say the first half and a bit, it's a far more approachable and accessible FromSoft game that's ever existed in terms of, difficulty. A lot of people found the Souls games, or Sekiro, overwhelming. Or Bloodborne. Not even Bloodborne. A lot of people beat Bloodborne. Bloodborne's, pretty good on the challenge. I think Elden Ring, with the way it handles its progression systems, runes, discovering new weapons and items, the build diversity, it's one of the most approachable and accessible From Software games ever. I didn't even need to use mods like I usually do to tone the game down a bit, so I felt like, oh, well, I can just do a dungeon and get a bunch of runes and level up, and a boss that was giving me trouble earlier, well, I can just do other open world content and come back later, and that's basically what I did. Then I hit the Mountaintop of Giants, and there was this enormous difficulty spike, and after doing some research online, a lot of people seem to be in agreement that the Mountaintop of Giants is really half-assed and unfinished content-wise, and it wasn't properly balanced, and it fucking feels like that. Oh! Look who it is in chat! I haven't even gone into the donation goals for this stream yet. Oh, jeez. Okay, I should get into that. Borzo Black is in the chat. Hey, BB. For those of you, what am I saying? If you follow me, you know who BB is. Just follow her on Twitter. Here, I'll leave a link. Give me a second. I'll get you guys a link. Follow BB on Twitter if you haven't already. For the most... damn it. I want to say something very flattering, but also not something that will get me in trouble with YouTube. For the most mature, professionally developed and produced erotic content on the internet, you go to Borzo Black. if you need a professional voice actress for whatever you're working for, you hire Borzo Black. Here. Boop. Boop. Follow her on Twitter, please. Anyways, yes, okay. I'm off topic. I'm off track. Okay, donation goals. You guys will see them in the top corner. So, I want to be reasonable. Not overdo things. Not overdo things here. You guys were very overtly generous last live stream. I just want some money for a pizza dinner for my family, and you guys went above and beyond. It was just a pizza dinner. I don't know why you guys donate so much. But for my two lovely lady friends, Bordeaux and Sleepy Siren, so we have 2 tiers. We have 2 tiers. We're going to try and get through Serena's donations first, because she's on a timetable when she needs money to help her out with her situation. And if we reach Serena's goal and help get her the money she needs, we're going to raise some money for BB and help her out. I'm not in a position to talk about... Damn, I can't talk about what either of them are going through. They're both personal. Fuck. I should have thought this through. Both Serena and BB are going through things in their life, and these troubles are expensive. Expensive troubles. Now, I don't want to break the bank. You have all been very generous, so we're not going to do anything like $1,000 or anything like that. Let's be reasonable. Let's be reasonable. So, if we can raise over $100 for Serena, then we will work towards raising over $100 for BB. And if we somehow surpass $200 and you guys donate more than $200, I'm just going to give it to the girls and help them out of the jams they're in. Oh, that's public? You're okay with stating that publicly, BB? I didn't know if that was like patrons only. But if you're saying that in chat, so yeah, what she said in chat, legal fees for doxing nonsense. Some evil pieces of shit are giving her a hard time, and I'd like to help pay for some of those expenses. I got paid. What? Prune, come on, man! I haven't even made the content yet! The content of the stream hasn't even started yet! You can't oh, God. No, he better not have. I'm checking. He hasn't yet. Prune, be reasonable, man. That's $200. Come on. I appreciate it, but come on, man. Oh, at least let me make content first. Provide some entertainment, something, before you give the money. I feel so shit when I start a stream, people start donating, and I haven't even done anything yet. Like, my God. Mad Dog Xander, hello, welcome to the stream. Storm of Dragon, God, I haven't even properly, God, the stream is such a mess. Okay, let's get into gear. The theme of this live stream is Elden Ring. We are raising money for Sleepy Serena and Bordeaux Black to help them out with their troubles. $100 for each of them. Let me say hello to everyone in chat. We've got Mifrandir. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Welcome live stream. Daniel, hello. Devolution, hello. Prune, of course, hello. Boyish Dude, hello. Been a while. Daddy Bottomtron is a Fringe Wonderweeb. Hey, hey, hey. You and your incredible username, Pinhead, hello. Gaia, hello. The Great Bamboozle, I love your name. The Great Bamboozle, hello. His Sasuke, hello. Borzo Black, BB, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Mortar Horse, are you new? I don't recognize your name. Hello, Mortar Horse. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Warhammer 40k? Wait, your name is just Warhammer 40k? Well, if you're a fan of something... I guess commit. Mad Dog Xander, hello. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, welcome to the stream. So glad... Christ, Prune! Oh, God, I just checked Ko-Fi. Well, fuck me. The goals have been met. Let me edit the text. Son of a bitch. I just started. I haven't even made content. Well, Jesus, man. Well, the goals are met. God damn it. Oh, Jesus. Elden Ring. It's about Elden Ring, Mad Dog. These streams about Elden Ring. Son of a bitch. Well, thank you so much, Prune Pilferer. Holy shit. Well, fuck it. Since the goals are met, let's just shoot for the stars then, shall we? Since the goals are met, let's raise the goals, I guess. Let's see if we can hit 200 for each. We've already, because Prune donated even fucking more than that fucking crazy person. I've raised the goals because Prune already beat the goal. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Good God. Okay. So anyways, as I was saying, what was I saying? Elden Ring. Again, just to prove I've beaten Elden Ring, because I know how From Software fanboys are like. You need to have that cred. They're all about that cred. So, I beat Elden Ring. Gotten the majority of the achievements. I think I fought just about all of the major bosses. So, beat Elden Ring. I think it's the most accessible game in From Software's lineup. It has an incredible sandbox of weapons and armor and magic spells to play with. The open world is incredible, absolutely worthy of praise. I think this is From Software's best story they've ever told, with some of the most memorable and engaging characters. Oh, man. Oh, I appreciate it. You guys are too nice. Stop. You're killing me. You're killing me here. The stream hasn't been on for, 10 minutes, and I'm already getting emotional? Come on. Okay. Elden Ring. Fantastic game. Really, really like it. Can easily see it be game of the year for a lot of people. It does have problems. It's easily the most unbalanced and unfair From Software game. Keep in mind, that's not a criticism. A game can still be good, it can still be quality, it can still be a ton of fun to play, but it doesn't need to be fair. There's tons of games that are sandbox games that aren't fair, where the goal of the game is to play around in the sandbox and break shit. Have fun, experiment. Elden Ring is one of those types of games. When I first started playing Elden Ring, I tried to play Elden Ring like I played Dark Souls free, as in sword and shield, dodge everything, block, get a few hits in, etc., etc. As the game progressed and I got further in and I encountered more bosses that were, quite frankly, not fair. They do not play by the same rules as the player. They have incredible, fucking player lock-on, response times, endless combos, endless stamina, enormous hitboxes on some of their attacks, and I eventually came to realize, this isn't Dark Souls. I need to stop playing this like this is Dark Souls. This is Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a different beast. I keep unlocking all these weapons. I keep finding all these weapons and these spells and these summons, these Ash companions. I'm supposed to be using all this stuff. I'm not supposed to just be hiding behind a sword and shield and dodging everything. I'm not meant to do that. This is a sandbox game. You're meant to use all the tools at your disposal. And once I embrace that Elden Ring is not a Souls game, it's a Souls-like, but it is not a Dark Souls game. A lot of people on the internet have been saying, oh, Elden Ring is Dark Souls 4. Elden Ring is Dark Souls 4. Elden Ring is not Dark Souls 4. There's so many differences in design, in features, and mechanics. Elden Ring is not Dark Souls. And once you embrace that, it's a really good time. Once you realize that the game has its own set of rules, and that this is a sandbox game where you are meant to play around with all the tools at your disposal, it becomes a great time. If you try to play it like Dark Souls, you're gonna fucking suffer. And I suffered for a while until I broke that mentality of, I gotta stop playing this like Dark Souls. Now, of course, should go without saying, Elden Ring spoilers. So, before we get into making fun of the bad Elden Ring takes, which I have accumulated here, and we're going to make fun of some people who have some really bad opinions on Elden Ring and video games in general, we're going to get into that. Before we do that, we're going to do something a little fun. I see a lot of other content creators and even some of my friends doing. Because this is an Elden Ring, and because this is Elden Ring, and because this is a FromSoft game, boop 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 ba doo 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 doo. Let me set this up before we get into the bad Elden Ring takes. Here we go. What the fuck? I didn't click on that. No, stop it, computer. Stop it. What are you doing? No, I didn't click on that. What are you doing? Ugh. When your fucking hardware and software rebels against you. Come on. Okay. Let me set. Oh! There we go. Okay. That's better. Let me just get the chat up so I can read chat. Austin, hello! Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Once I finish Elden Ring, I think I'll go back and beat Death's Gambit. Oh yeah, I've heard of Death's Gambit. That's a really cool pixel indie game, 2D side-scroller Souls-like with some Actually, I think it's a Souls-like Metroidvania. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've always meant to play Death's Gambit and check that out. Elden Ring. What's happening is Elden Ring, Austin. We're talking about Elden Ring. But before we get into the Elden Ring bad takes, because I know that's going to take a majority of this video, we're going to do something just a little fun and a little silly. Tier list time! Now you guys can share with me your opinions on your favorite bosses and whatnot from Elden Ring. But I'm going to give you all my Elden Ring boss tier list, baby. One moment. Okay. Let's do this. Alright. So I found this tier list online. I didn't make this myself. Credit goes to... Oh, does it not show the person who made it? Oh, well, whoever made this, thank you for making it. Wish I could give you credit, but it doesn't say. Oh, wait, is this him? Was it John Smith? Well, I'm going to assume this is the person. If I'm wrong, please someone correct me. But thank you, John Smith, for making this very functional tier list for Elden Ring bosses. Oh, yeah, you're right. Matt Mercer does voice in Death Gambit. Totally forgot about that. Okay, let's go over the bosses. Now, this is one of the most divisive aspects of Elden Ring are the boss battles. People love them, people hate them, and I understand both because, again, like I said just a minute or two ago, Elden Ring is not fair, and Elden Ring is not Dark Souls. The thing about Dark Souls is that it's challenging, but it's fair. It is totally possible for any player to head to a boss arena, fight a boss, and take no damage, dodge every attack once you learn their patterns and the timing. That's not the case in Elden Ring. A lot of bosses have undodgeable attacks, massive hitboxes, endless fucking combos. This is not Dark Souls. Dark Souls is challenging but fair. Elden Ring is unfair, and you are meant to use the sandbox to overcome its challenges. You can't just you can't just 1v1 sword and shield, dodge roll. You can't use the classic Dark Souls melee playstyle with Elden Ring. You've got to mix it up. You've got to be a jack of all trades, and you got to be willing to adapt to each boss. That being said, there are some bosses I will argue that are absolutely garbage design, and what the hell, From Software, why would you make them like this? There are some lazy bosses, there are some bad bosses, but for the most part, I'd say there are some pretty good to phenomenal boss battles here. Yeah, the bosses and I have a very deep love-hate relationship. Crimson Dawn, hello! Yeah, I can see the Bloodborne and Sekiro, Crimson Dawn. I can definitely see the comparisons in boss design. They're definitely more aggressive than in Dark Souls. Anyways, let's get into it. My boss ranking tier list. We start with Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, who I'm going to put in A tier. Renala is more of a visual spectacle and gimmick boss more than anything else, but there is some challenge to be had. I did die a few times to her on her second phase. But yeah, the music's fantastic. The arenas are great. Like the build-up around the boss, like the visual spectacle. Renala herself, lore-wise, is a great and tragic character. But this boss, I'd say, makes it the A tier mostly for the visual spectacle. The fight itself, I think it's a normal challenge. Timing is very tight. Timing is ridiculously tight, Prune. Ridiculously tight. Unless you have Bloodhound Step. That Ash of War is OP. Please don't nerf it from soft. Bloodhound Step is fantastic. But yeah, sorry. Renala. I'd say a solid boss, not too hard, can be easy depending on your build, but I'd say for the visual spectacle, for the diversity and the variance between Phase 1 and Phase 2, the music, the visuals, the character, I'd say Renala's an overall solid boss. A solid boss. Oh god, yes, BB! The soundtrack in Elden Ring. There's not a bad track in the game. Everything is fire. Absolute fire. Like, when I wasn't playing Elden Ring and I was working on other stuff, content, chores around the house, like, every chance I got, I was listening to the Elden Ring soundtrack. Oh, God, so many great tracks. So many great tracks. Haunting, powerful, incredible orchestral and opera pieces. Some amazing choir pieces, and a lot of the pieces are sung in Latin, which was a real nice surprise. So Renala, A tier, really like Renala, solid boss. Godric the Grafted, I command thee tarnished, kneel! S tier. I have no complaints about Godric. I think Godric is a perfect boss. Perfect boss. He's actually, he's fun and fair. Weird. He feels like a Dark Souls boss, and maybe that's why I like him so much, is that he feels like a Dark Souls boss. Foff, hello! I play Demon Souls on PS5 and pretend it doesn't work that way. Well, Foff, welcome to live stream. Glad to have you here. Now, I consider Godric a perfect boss. I have no complaints. All of his, with the exception of that, little tornado attack he can do in an instant, that's a bit bullshit, but besides that, all of his attacks are readable, dodgeable. He's a very fair boss. If you get hit 90 to 95% of the time, it's your fault. He's a boss that you can master. He's a visual spectacle. Again, a great villain character, a tragic villain character. Amazing visual design. Oh, his music is so fucking good. So good. I really enjoyed Godric. He killed me a couple times, but even in death, I enjoyed the fight up until the death. It's a tough... Honestly, Foff, well, it's me. I play on PC, but I'd say Elden Ring on PC, mostly because of the mods. The Elden Ring mod scene has blown up. It is awesome. People have already started creating mods, taking characters from anime and various other video games and putting them into Elden Ring. This one dude's doing this whole rework of the Elden Ring mechanics to make it more like Dark Souls. like toning down aggression, adding more iframes to dodge rolls. Like, people are adding whole new armor sets and weapons. The Elden Ring mod scene is blowing up on PC, and it's only going to get bigger. Oh, someone even made a photo mode! I don't know why Elden Ring doesn't have an official photo mode with, like, it's an open world game, it has beautiful scenery. You'd think it would have a photo mode, but it doesn't have a photo mode. A modder made a photo mode for Elden Ring. It's like a must-have mod. The Elden Ring photo mode is awesome. Definitely. So, if you're interested in modding Elden Ring and customizing the experience, Ascendant mod, yeah, that too. If you're interested in customizing the experience, I'd say PC. Just be aware, while the PC version of Elden Ring has been patched, it has had a few patches the months it's been out, the console versions, I would say, are more stable. There are some issues, like you need to have a slight above average PC to run it well. Just forewarning. Anyways, back to the tier list. I want to be able to get through this tier list so we can get to the bad Elden Ring videos. That's fine, Foff. We all have different living situations. I totally get it. Godric the Grafted, S tier. Really enjoyed the boss. No complaints. Amazing visual spectacle. Yeah, really, really enjoyed Godric. Commander Nile, F tier. I did not like Nile. I do not like Nile. Oh my god. Now, a lot of bosses in Elden Ring have endless combos. But you're supposed to not be near the boss. Basically, when the bosses have these endless combos, it's trying to tell the game's trying to tell you, use a summon, use magic, use ranged attacks. This boss is not meant to be like have your head bash your head in with melee. But Nile, the thing about Nile is if it was just Nile by himself, I think he'd be a higher tier boss, he'd be fine. But the fact that the boss starts and he has two banished knight companions. He has two banished knights in the boss fight with him. One, a fucking banished knight with dual wield greatswords that does this endless spin to win attack and can stun lock you. And the other banished knight with a shield who blocks all your fucking attacks. Like, oh god. You have to use a high level summon. You have to use a high level summon ashes to like even get through the first phase, which I consider just getting through his two fuckhead minions just to get to him. And once you do get to Nile, oh my god, endless combos, massive hitboxes with his fucking tornado and lightning attacks. You can use Miquella's flower to charm his companions? I figured because they were spirits they couldn't be charmed. I didn't know that, Prune. Like I said, Elden Ring is not Dark Souls. It's a fucking... Oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, that's so cool. Like I said, Elden Ring, sandbox game. You're meant to experiment with the sandbox. I never thought of that, Prune. I never thought of that. Still, though, I still keep my opinion based on my experience with Nile. I did not have a good time with Nile. I did not like Nile. Maybe if I had done your tactic, I would have had a better time. But in my experience, I felt like a lot of deaths were not my own. Like a lot of bullshit, like, how was I supposed to dodge that? God damn, these stupid minions won't get off my ass. God, I can't kill this minion with the boss and the other minion attacking me. I just had a miserable time fighting Nile. I did not like Nile. Ooh, now here's a good one. Loretta, Knight of the Halig Tree. I love Loretta. Loretta is easily one of my favorite bosses in the game. Again, fun. Again, a lot like a Dark Souls boss. A lot like a regular Dark Souls boss. Fun and fair challenge. Readable attack patterns. Visual spectacle. Also, she uses her music. Her theme is the Tree Sentinel. The Tree Sentinel theme, and I love that piece of music. It's easily one of my favorite pieces of music in Elden Ring. Love to hear it. She has a solid arena, a lot of room to maneuver around and fight her. Like, she supports... Basically, you can fight her with a variety of builds. You can go melee, you can go ranged, you can solo her, you can bring a summon. I really like Loretta. I really enjoyed her boss fight. I found her fair. I'm able to dodge the majority of her attacks. Yeah, she's a I love her design. She's a badass looking knight. I really like Loretta. I just like both times I fought Loretta. The time where she's a spirit protecting Ronnie, and then when you fight her in the Halig tree, both times I really enjoyed the fight. I really enjoyed the fight. Like Loretta. I really like Loretta. Easily one of my favorite bosses in the game. Fun and fair challenge. Red Wolf of Ragadan. If you're fighting the Red Wolf of Ragadan as a boss in the Rea Lucaria Academy, I think it's a solid boss. Does punish melee a fair bit. I find you, I think you're really no, actually, no. But reverse that. No. When I first fought the Red Wolf, I was, like, leaning more towards sorceries and incantations, and I found I was being punished. I think this boss, like, was a lot more melee-focused, trying to get in its face. Although, this motherfucker drains your stamina with his melee attacks. Like, holy shit. I think it's a fine boss. A fine boss. The Red Wolf of Ragadan in Rea Lucaria is a fine boss. A bit challenging for magic users with his, what's the word? Litany? I think litany's the word. With his litany of ranged magic attacks. But if you're fighting him melee, it can be certainly enjoyable. Yeah, I'd say Red Wolf of Ragadan, solid boss fight in Rea Lucaria. When you encounter the Red Wolf in the open world, though, I don't know what they did with the scaling. But I feel like all the Red Wolf mini-bosses that you can find in the open world, like, are so much more harder than the boss variant. They have so much more health, they deal so much more damage, and because you're fighting them in an open world environment, they have so much more space to run around and shoot at you. I think in a closed-off environment, in a closed-off boss arena, the Red Wolf is a decent boss fight, but out in the open world, he's cancer. I honestly think if he was just, like, a lone boss, wasn't a mini-boss in the open world, I would have put him in A tier, but for all of his open world variants, I think, yeah, B tier's fine. Godskin Apostle. I think B tier. I was fine with the fight. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it. The music is incredible. I think it's fine. I think Godskin Apostle... I don't really have much to say other than the Godskin music. The soundtrack is incredible. Love the music for this boss. Besides that, meh. I don't really have a lot to say about the Godskin Apostles. Very meh about them. Elamir the Briar. A fine boss. Fine boss. Again, didn't have too many thoughts the couple times I fought him. He killed me a couple times. He's fine. He's got that cool move where he can throw his sword and it, like, magically levitates in the air to slash at you. His armor set and weapon you unlock from defeating him is cool. Absolutely. Besides that, fine boss. Fine boss. No real big negatives or positive. Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, S tier. This whole boss is a gimmick and spectacle fight, but I love it. The music's incredible. The visuals are incredible. The weapon you get to fight him with, the Serpent Hunter Spear, is so much fun. Again, it's a gimmick fight. It's a spectacle fight. But it's one of From Software's best in that category. I really enjoyed Rykard. There was some bullshit. I did get frustrated from time to time. Actually, in Phase 1, not even in Phase 2. Because that serpent, the serpent head attack, the hitbox for that thing is massive. And it is very unforgiving on the dodge rolls. You are definitely expected to, like, run away, keep your distance and stuff, not get too close to the damn thing. So Phase 1 was a bit iffy, but again, the visual spectacle is amazing, music's fantastic, animations are superb. Rykard is a great, another great tragic villain character with some good lore and backstory. So yeah, I'd say Rykard's one of the best boss battles in Elden Ring, for sure. Loved this. Loved Rykard. Great fight. Great fight. That's a phone call. I'll be right back, everybody. So sorry. Fuck! I'm muted! I was muted the whole time! Oh, man. I totally forgot it. I mute myself when I went to go check the phone. Aw, jeez. Okay. Anyways, I'm back. Oh, man. Okay, I guess I'll be repeating myself. Okay. Oh, let's try this again. Like I said earlier, Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. Like the fight, enjoy the fight. One of my favorite bosses in the game, one of the best bosses in the game. Rykard. Fire Giant. I'm putting in D. The boss is a visual spectacle. He looks awesome. Animations are incredible. Music is fantastic. That's all he's got going for him. Most of the boss consists of you getting on Torrent, riding up to his feet, hitting his feet. He rolls away. You get on Torrent, ride to his feet, hit his feet. Sometimes you're dodging some fire attacks and these big shockwave attacks, but he does. But it's not much of a boss fight in both phases. You just get on Torrent, avoid his big AoE attacks, go up to his feet, hit his feet. Like, I didn't hate the boss, but I can't say I had a particularly enjoyable time fighting him. Again, great visual spectacle. Not much of a boss fight. Not much of a fight. You're just getting on Torrent, running up, and hitting his legs. So yeah. I mean, he's not... I didn't have a bad time with him like I had with Niall. But didn't have all too much fun, I'd say. Good visual spectacle, though. Good visual spectacle as a boss battle. Valiant Gargoyles. I surprisingly enjoyed. I think it's a solid fight. Especially if you bring in summons. It becomes this really epic battle of, like, your small... because you can bring in D as a cooperator summon, and you can bring in a Spirit Ash. And it's like a battle of the titans with these two Valiant Gargoyles, and the way the Valiant Gargoyles switch between what weapons they're using, how they, the way they fly around, spit poison. I found most of their attacks actually readable and dodgeable. There's some bullshit there. It's Elden Ring. There's always some bullshit with the enemy attacks. But for the most part, I surprisingly enjoyed the Valiant Gargoyles fight. I thought it was a solid fight. Solid fight. I don't unfortunately remember the music of this fight, which is a shame because with all the other bosses, like, I vehemently remember the soundtracks and go to listen to them. I don't remember what the fuck music was playing with the Valiant Gargoyles. Oh, the boss arena was also decent visual, fighting them behind a waterfall, in a cave, in an underground city. Solid fight, I'd say. The Mimic Tier, it's fine. Like, it just copies whatever gear you're wearing, and depending on your build, when you encounter the Mimic Tier, it can either be piss easy or a pain in the ass. It's a boss. It's fine. Godskin Noble. No, I gotta do F tier with the Godskin Noble. I much prefer the Apostle to the Noble. The reason the fucking Noble I'm putting in F tier, just some of his hitboxes, man, are bullshit. And that belly attack, that belly bounce attack where he sends you flying into the air with his belly, he just does that attack instantly. There's no way to read it. There's no way to prepare for it. Just whenever he feels like it, belly bounce. You're in the air, you've taken damage, and you're open for another follow-up attack from him. Oh, God. No, I don't like the Godskin Noble. I can't say I had a fun time fighting the Godskin Noble. And I tried different builds, different loadouts fighting this guy. I tried using magic and ranged attacks. I tried using melee sword and shield and some heavy melee weapons. I know he chonk, Cronus Prime, and welcome to the live stream. I know he chonk, but I didn't have fun fighting him. I think he has potential to be a solid boss, but that belly bounce attack has either got to be reworked or it's got to go. That stupid fucking belly bounce attack. Bane of my existence, fighting this piece of blubber. Godfrey! A tier. Solid boss. Can't say I absolutely loved him like these other bosses, but Godfrey's a solid boss. Visual spectacle, solid voice acting, great lore and backstory. His first phase is, I'd say, really solid first phase. His second phase, again, it's fun and cool. The way like he fist fights you, rips off his armor, is bare chested and bloody, and tries to beat you in a fisticuffs brawl. That's all cool. But some of his hitboxes in his second phase, and some of his endless combos, and the way he can chain grab you, his second phase is just a bit bullshit. Clipdom, hello, welcome to the live stream. You never found his belly bounce an issue. Spamming the thrust. Oh yeah, the thrusts were bad too. Maybe just RNG on my part. I just got bad RNG fighting him, but he would spam that shit, that belly bounce, and it just pissed me off. Godfrey is awesome. Godfrey is badass. I think his second phase could use some rebalancing, just with the endless combos, the massive hitboxes. Kinda napping, so I'm in and out. Some fundraising people. Yes, thank you everyone so very much for the incredible. Let's double check. Let's check Coffee again. Ko-Fi, if you will. Let's check. Have there been more donations? There was another donation. God damn. Okay. Well, damn. Alright, thank you so much. Incredibly generous. Oh my goodness, let me just update this. Thank you so very much. Properties. Oh, 1 second, everybody. Just a second. Back! Sorry about that, family. Anyways, you sleep well, BB. Thank you so much for stopping by. You sleep well. A well-deserved nap. Thank you so much for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Donation goals are to help my lovely lady friends out of a bind. Both of them can't really talk about Serena stuff. That's personal. BB, unfortunately, there's this very malicious, vicious asshole going out of their way to try and dox her. She's taking the legal route, and lawyers expensive. Want to do what little I can. We already beat the earlier donation goal, and we surpassed it immediately. So I just upped the donation goal because of how fast we surpassed it. So donation goals are to help my lovely lady friends out with their troubles. Yes, I am rating bosses. Guilty. Welcome to the stream. And thank you so much for the donations, everybody. Really appreciate you guys helping out my friends. Okay, back to it. So yeah, Godfrey, I really enjoy his first phase. Meh on his second phase. A bit too much bullshit for my liking on his second phase. But again, visuals, lore-wise, backstory, voice acting, music, top-notch. Great stuff. He could easily be S tier for me if there was just some reworking on his second phase. Crucible Knight and the Misbegotten Warrior. I don't know why this is on the tier list. F tier. Misbegotten Warrior, by itself, I'd say is a fine boss. As a matter of fact, we'll skip to him right now. Misbegotten, Leonine. Yeah, it's Leonine. Leonine Misbegotten, B tier. Solid boss. A fine boss. Of course, like every Elden Ring boss, infinite stamina, can chain some crazy combos, but a fine boss. Gave me a decent challenge, died a few times to him. But eventually I beat him. I'd say solid boss. Again, I toned down the combo chaining, the endless combos, but besides that, fine boss. I had fun. Disappointed that he was reused so much for mini bosses and dungeon bosses and stuff like that. I remember the Crucible Knight Misbegotten Warrior duo boss fight. That was fucking garbage. Did not have a good time there. So F tier. Did not enjoy that. Margit, the Fell Omen. I'll go A tier. Margit definitely. You cannot play. Margit is one of those bosses where you cannot play Elden Ring like traditional Dark Souls. Just trying to fight him sword and shield is a bad idea. Because again, he's got those endless combos. He will burn through your stamina, just destroy your stamina. You are definitely meant to engage with Elden Ring's other mechanics when fighting Margit. Margit is basically your wake-up call to say, stop playing this like Dark Souls. This is Elden Ring. Use the tools at your disposal. You definitely want to use a summon here, and use some ranged magic, and mix melee and magic. And I think that's the best way to fight Margit and have a really good time. I'd say Margit's a solid boss. I'd think he'd be just a bit better if his combo, if he just wasn't able to chain combos. That's the thing that I think keeps Margit from being S tier, is that the way he, as soon as he finishes one combo, he can immediately, with no delay, with no opening for you to attack, go into another fucking combo. Besides that, the story around Margit is great. He's a great character, one of the best characters in Elden Ring. Very compelling antagonist. Music's great. I think people are mixed on his arena. I thought his arena was fine. I know some people don't like his boss arena. I thought his arena was fine. Yeah, I'd say Margit's fine. Margit's fine. The endless combos, if he didn't have those endless fucking combos, I think he'd be S tier. If they just toned down his fucking combo spamming. Oh yeah, his shackles. The shackles absolutely help. If you find Margit shackles, go do Patch's quest. Find Patches in that little side dungeon cave. Get his shackles. Can absolutely help. Absolutely help with his fight. Still though, that doesn't change the fact if you fight him with, if you don't use the shackles, I just think Margit would be a better boss fight if he just had a few more openings, and he had, something resembling a stamina bar, so he just couldn't endlessly spam his combos. But he is a solid fight. He is a solid fight, especially if you use magic and summons. Okay, Star Scourge Radahn, S tier. Visual spectacle. Some of his attacks have massive AoE and bullshit hitboxes, I do admit. But goddamn, man, I can't deny how much of a good time I had fighting Radahn. Summoning all of those different characters and various heroes and companions to help fight Radahn during the Radahn Festival. Oh man, great story, great character backstory, the build-up. The fucking build-up to the boss fight, and then having you fighting Radahn with basically a small army of companions. Oh my god, his attacks are a visual spectacle. The music is superb. If you look into his lore and backstory, so tragic. What a badass character. Yeah, again, I can be objective and say he has some bullshit. There's absolutely some bullshit. If you try to fight him solo melee, some of his... Oh, and the camera... Oh my god, the camera, if you try to lock on camera fight him, the camera doesn't know what the fuck to do at times in terms of positioning, because he's such a giant character. I would say the camera in Elden Ring, when I make my Elden Ring video, the camera and the lock on is definitely something I'm going to bring up. But yeah, I really enjoyed Star Scourge Radahn. I'd say he's a solid fight, one of the best in the game. Just a second, everybody. Yes, Cronus Prime, the Radon Festival. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Anyways, so yeah, Radon. Really like Radon. Lich Dragon Fortisax. I love Lich Dragon Fortisax. One of my favorite bosses in the game. I understand why people don't like him because of all the visual clutter, the death mist, the lightning, the tracking lightning attack. I totally understand why some people find Fortisax frustrating, but I just had a... One sec. One second, guys. I'll be right back. I'm back, everyone. I am so very sorry for that. Family matters. Shit happens. I'm sure you guys all know. Where was I? Fortisax! That's right. Fortisax. Easily one of my favorite bosses in the game. I understand why some people don't like him, but when I fought Fortisax, it was just an awesome experience. Oh god, the visual spectacle of his fucking lightning javelins and his giant lightning sword as he flies in the air and swings down to try and hit you, dodging that is so fucking satisfying. Oh man. Oh man. The music, Fortisax's boss theme, incredible. The arena you fight him in. Oh my god. Yeah. I really enjoyed Fortisax. I can be objective and admit, like, there's a bit too much visual clutter. There's a bit too much for the, to keep your mind on. I can understand, like, the unfairness of the fight with just how much is going on. It's hard to all keep track of. But I can't deny how much fun I had with Lich Dragon Fortisax. I had a good time. I had a good time fighting him. Randall the Vandal, hello! Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Dragon Lord Placidusax. This is hard. I'm not gonna lie, I struggle where to put Placidusax, because, again, incredible visual spectacle, amazing music, and some of his attacks are, like, dodgeable, readable, and I did have fun fighting him, but I had just as much fun fighting him as there was frustration. Like, for an example, when you die to him, to get back to him is some bullshit. Like, you have to spend, like, 2 minutes running back to the boss room, and you have to skip the cutscene every time. I really wish there was, like, a Stake of Marika. I don't know why there wasn't a Stake of Marika, like, in his boss arena or outside his boss arena, so that you just didn't have to keep running back and avoid enemies. So the run up to him is, like, to get back to the fight is a bit bullshit. He has a couple attacks with just fucking ginormous hitboxes. Absolutely, like his fire in particularly. Some of his fire attacks, like, I just don't know how far away am I supposed to get. I've been damaged by his fire attacks when the fire isn't even visually touching me, because the hitboxes are so massive. But then again, there's, like, his lightning claw attacks, which are readable and dodgeable. There's the shit where he flies in through the air and tries to swipe at you. That's it's readable and dodgeable, and that's cool. I'd say, despite some of the bullshit with the hitboxes, I'd say I had more of a good time than a bad time with Placidusax. Again, the visual spectacle is incredible. I'd say he'd be S tier if they just worked out some of his hitboxes. Just scale down the hitboxes, because it doesn't matter if you're playing melee or ranged or using a summon, some of those hitboxes are just insanely ginormous. Like, how the hell are you supposed to dodge that? Without Bloodhound Step. How are you supposed to dodge that without Bloodhound Step? So yeah, I'd say Placidusax is A tier, like, in between S tier and B tier. There's some bullshit in him with his fight that would lower him to B tier, and but there's so much good that, like, I'd say A tier is a solid place. He's got some bad that could bring him down to B tier, but if the bad stuff was fixed, he could easily be S tier. So yeah, I'd say I had more of a good time than a bad time fighting Placidusax, but there was some bullshit. I can't deny that. Morgott, the Omen King. S tier. I think Morgott is much better than Margit. He's still got some endless combos, but I feel like his arena is so much bigger than Margit's that there's more room to move. Being able to summon Melina. Melina and Melina. I always get their names mixed up. You can summon in Melina as a cooperative summon, and she makes the fight so much better with her unique attacks and that really cool spell she does, summoning like a miniature spirit tree that heals herself in you. That's cool. Again, visual spectacle, great character with the dialogue, incredible music. Like, the lead up to the fight, you have been building up to the fight with Morgott for some time now. Like, the lead up, the build up, the reveal, the cutscene, the music. I feel like Morgott is better than Margit, and I had more fun fighting Morgott than I did Margit. I think Morgott the Omen King's a great boss fight. It's one of my favorites in Elden Ring. I think he goes in S tier. Mog, Lord of Blood, S tier. I see why. I totally agree with a lot of people. I understand why Mog is a lot of people's favorite boss in Elden Ring. Like, again, the music, the visuals, fucking spectacular, really spectacular. The actual characterization and lore behind Mog, he's such a despicable villain, a solid villain character. His voice acting is stupendous. Ugh. You can fight him with multiple builds. I fought him with multiple different ways, multiple different loadouts. And nothing felt unfair. You can fight him melee, you can fight him magic range, you can solo him, you can bring in a summon. I find no matter how you fight Mog, it's going to be a solid fight. Like, is there anything bad about him? I'm trying to think of any, like, legit criticisms. I mean, I guess, but, like, this applies to every Elden Ring boss. He can spam certain attacks a bit often. I guess a couple of his melee attacks have some pretty crazy hitboxes. Some of his ranged melee attacks, well, he is using a trident spear, whatever you'd like to call it. But yeah, I'd say the good, if there is any bad, the good vastly outweighs it. Like, Mog's just a solid boss battle. Really solid boss battle with so much going for him and so many cool aspects about him. Malekith the Black Blade. I'd say A tier. He could almost be S tier. You have his first phase with the Beast Clergyman, which I think is fine. I had no problems beating him in the first phase and getting to the second phase. Like, he uses a variety of beast incantations, swings with his dagger, nothing too insane. Solid fight, fair challenge. First phase, fine. But once you get to his second phase, now his second phase, absolute visual spectacle, amazing music. Like, he's a badass character. Malekith is just fucking badass. But here's the thing. If you don't have his specific item, to counter his Black Blade, Black Fire, you're gonna have a bad time. Holy fucking shit. The damage Malekith can do is off the scale. He hits you once, it fucks you up. And, like, not just that, the way he always is able to fucking fly away from you. Even if you're doing melee or if you're doing ranged magic or other ranged attacks, the way he can just fucking effortlessly jump around the arena and jump out of your range, it becomes pretty frustrating with those spammable attacks with the Black Fire. Oh, man. Malekith could be S tier. He could be S tier. I just feel like he's a bit overtuned. Like, if you don't have his item, if you fight him without his... I feel like his item is almost mandatory to enjoy the second phase, because if you fight him without an item, Christ almighty, just trying to hit him, and if he hits you, the amount of damage he's going to deal. Yeah, there's an item for him, Fruin. Oh, I know something you don't know. Malekith has his own item like Margit and Mog. He has his own item that helps you counter his Black Flame. Here. Elden Ring Malekith item. No. On the scent with the Blasphemous Claw. Is this the right one? Let's see. Where is it? What? Yes! Blasphemous Claw. This is the item. This is his item. Blasphemous Claw tool ring. Tools are unique. A stab of rock engraved with the traces of the rune of death can deflect the power of the Black Blade. Basically, I didn't know about this item at first. So when I first fought him, I was fighting him without the Blasphemous Claw. And I was having a bad time. But once I got the Blasphemous Claw, I was like, wow, this is so much more manageable. Yeah, get the Blasphemous Claw. If he's stonewalling you right now, get the Blasphemous Claw. How do you get the Blasphemous Claw? Recusant Bernal upon defeat. Yeah, from Bernal. Yeah, that's right, in the invasion. I just did big exploring, got invaded by Bernal, killed him, got his armor set, got his weapon, and got this. So yeah, if you're going to fight him, I definitely recommend getting the Blasphemous Claw. I think, again, Malekith is badass, visual spectacle, all that jazz. I just think the Black Blade phase, moving in from Beast Clergyman, Have him jump fucking around less. I wish there was a cooldown for how often he could jump around and jump out of your range. Oh, man, and the Blackfire just... I'd say lower his damage a little bit and give him like a cooldown on how often he can jump, and he'd be S tier. Fierce champions, they're fine. I'll admit I had a fun time fighting them, but not much of a visual spectacle. It's basically just a bunch of player NPCs wearing various armor and whatnot. Yeah, I'd put Fierce Champion C tier. I wouldn't call them bad, wouldn't call them great. They're a fine boss. I admit I had fun fighting them. Ooh, we will leave Ragaddon and the Elden Beast for the end. Godskin Duo, F tier. Godskin Duo is bullshit. Simply bullshit. This fight was not tested. You cannot look me in the eye and tell me that this fight was tested and balanced properly. They just took both the Godskins, threw them in an arena together. That's it. It's their AI. The AI doesn't sync. They don't take turns. Like, they can combo lock you. They can endlessly spam fire at you if you try to heal. You have to use summons. I am convinced you have to use summons to have even a remotely manageable time with the Godskin Duo. This fight was not tested. I am convinced that this fight was not fucking tested. Yeah, that's where I am at with that. I did not like Godskin Duo. I did not like Godskin Duo at all. You sleep? I thought they were immune. Like the only thing that seemed to work on them was bleeding, so I just used Rivers of Blood. I did not know. Well, next time I fight them, I've got to try sleep. I've got to try inflicting sleep on them. I did not know they were vulnerable to sleep. I just assumed because so many other things are vulnerable to sleep. Okay, Regal Ancestor Spirit. I love the boss. Easily one of my favorite bosses in the game, Regal Ancestor Spirit. Fucking love Regal, and the music is incredible. The boss arenas, God, this boss's animations, its attacks, the way it effortlessly like flies and walks in the air, jumps in the air, and not just that. This is another boss that feels like a boss straight out of Dark Souls. It's a fun but fair challenge. It's a challenge, but it's a fair challenge. All of his attacks are readable and dodgeable. There's no bullshit with this boss. Just like I find with Loretta, it's a no bullshit boss. Loretta is like Godric, Loretta, Regal Ancestor. All three of these bosses, I'd say, are no bullshit bosses. There's no bullshit. They're fair, challenging fights. You can read all their attacks, dodge them, learn the bosses. Oh man, I love Regal Ancestor Spirit. I really love Regal Ancestor Spirit. One of the things, like, again, Elden Ring, great game. Really like the game. One of the things that pisses me off the most about Elden Ring is that there is no way to respawn the bosses or replay the boss fights. Which blows my mind, and I'm going to bring this up in an Elden Ring video, because Sekiro had an update. It had a patch that let you replay and respawn and refight all of the boss battles. It even added a boss rush mode. So why Elden Ring doesn't have those features, why Elden Ring downgraded from Sekiro, blows my fucking mind. I really hope in future DLC and patches we get like a boss replay, boss respawn, boss rush mode. I just want to fight the Regal Ancestor Spirit again, man. I want to fight again without having to replay the whole fucking game to fight it again. I really, really I really love the Regal Ancestor Spirit. God, it may be my favorite boss in Elden Ring. It might be. It might be my favorite boss in Elden Ring. I really love the Regal Ancestor Spirit. The music, everything. I know about New Game Plus, Bamboozle. I'm going to start New Game Plus for the sake of my Elden Ring video. I know about New Game Plus, but it's not the same, because you have to play through the entire game again if you want to get to your specific content you want to play through. Sekiro lets you replay bosses easily. You just go to shit. I forget. Shrine. It's shrines, right? Those are the checkpoints. Those are the bonfires in Sekiro. It's shrines, right? I'm going to say it's shrines. I know about that. I'm talking single-player Cronus. I don't want to, like, invade other people's games for multiplayer. I don't like Souls multiplayer. Yeah, DS2 had bonfire acidics. Aw, they really fought that? Well, so what? Let people farm souls. Let people farm... Oh, his joke. Okay, I got you, Bamboozle. I think people... Again, there's so many other ways to farm souls in these Souls-like games. Let people farm how they want to farm. If people want to become OP in From Software games, there are ways to do it. I just want to fight the Regal Ancestor Spirit solo. I want to fight it solo again, and I don't want to replay the whole game again to fight it. There is a way, but I'm going to have to replay the whole game again, because what I'm going to have to do is, once I get to the Regal Ancestor Spirit, I'm going to have to, like, duplicate my save file multiple times, so I can just replace save files and get to the fight again without having to replay the whole game again. It'll be some work, but I can get there. I just wish there was a traditional boss respawn, boss replay mechanic. Fucking love... Okay. Tangent over. Regal Ancestor Spirit, S tier. Love this fight. Fair fight. Yeah, incredible visual spectacle, music, arena, animations, attacks. Love the Regal Ancestor Spirit. Magma Worm Makar. I'll say B tier. I'd like to put him higher, but like Miss Lionette Misbegotten, the Magma Worm is reused way too often. But with Makar's fight in the mining tunnel and the summons you can bring, makes it feel like a big epic fight. He drops great loot. His great sword that he drops is fantastic. I used that thing throughout the game in my first playthrough. I'd say Magma Makar is fine. He's got some bullshit, though. Like, again, massive hitboxes. Like, yeah, I'd say just the massive hitboxes. Just the enormous fucking hitboxes of his shockwave attacks are a bit bullshit. He also has a massive health bar. Holy shit, this boss is chunky. He is fucking chunky. So I'll say B tier. Not awful, not great, he's fine. Bit of bullshit here and there. I did have fun fighting him, though. Flying Dragon Agil. C tier. And this is coming from a guy who fucking loves dragons. Here's the thing. I find future other dragon fights were better, like the dragon fight in Khalid and Rhea Lucaria. I find various other like roaming dragon boss fights better. The thing about Agil, like, I know Agil can be a visual spectacle, a great like, he is a visual spectacle. The music's fantastic. The whole swamp lake you fight him in is cool. The whole surprise reveal where you're just exploring and all of a sudden he swoops down, kills a bunch of NPCs. That's all great. But every time I fought Agil, and again, I'm putting him in C tier just because of my own personal experience here, every time I fought Agil, he bugged the fuck out, because this is an open world boss, and because he can fucking fly everywhere. He would constantly fly and get stuck in the geometry. He got stuck in the various runes and hillsides. He got stuck in that little rune area with the... You guys, if you've played Elden Ring, you know what I'm talking about. That ruins area with the chest that teleports you to Khalid. He would constantly fly into there and get stuck on the geometry. And it was, like, impossible to properly fight him. Like, every time I fought Agil, he got stuck in the open world, basically. Basically, the open world sabotaged me having a solid fight with Agil. Now, maybe on other playthroughs, in future playthroughs, I'll have a better time fighting Agil, now that I know that, okay, I've got to kind of, like, use his tracking and AI to make sure he doesn't fly to those places and get stuck. But for the first few times I fought him on my first playthrough, he kept getting stuck in the environment, and it just kept ruining the moment. Again, I love dragons. Agil looks awesome. All the dragons look awesome. The music's great. Again, everything around the boss is fine, but every time I fought him, like, the game broke, essentially, and kind of ruined the experience for me, unfortunately. Joe the Lizard, hey! Yeah, not all dragons are made equal. That is true. Yeah, true. Agil gets stuck in the environment. Fortisax, fucking awesome. Blastodusax, mostly awesome with a bit of bullshit. Yeah, not all dragons made equal. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. So good to see you, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Wub, hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see Joe and Wub here. Hey, guys. No. Don't worry. You haven't missed the reactions to the bad Elden Ring videos yet. Right now, we're just doing a tier list of the bosses in Elden Ring. Oh, Wub! Sorry, Wub! There are Elden Ring spoilers abound! There will be Elden Ring spoilers. I'm sorry, Wub. I'm sorry. This live stream is Elden Ring spoilers central. I'm sorry, Wub. Watch at your own discretion. Up next, Sir Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing. I know this may surprise some people, but I'm going to put him in B tier. I actually had a fun time fighting him. I can't put him any higher just because he lacks kind of like the visual spectacle and everything, but the story behind Gideon is great. He's a solid character, one of the best characters in the game, story-wise. The fight, like, it's basically fighting a player NPC who just uses sorceries and incantations, but that's kind of cool, because he has a bunch of powerful sorceries and incantations that you have, that you earned. He uses a variety of sorceries and incantations that the bosses reward you. So, like, again, I understand he's got some problems depending on your build. Depending on your build, you can, like, easily, like, raffle stomp him, but on other builds, he can absolutely devastate you. I was somewhere in between where he put up a decent challenge. Wasn't too hard, wasn't too easy. Again, I think Gideon's going to vary depending on your build. Like, whether you think Gideon's a good boss or not will depend on your personal experience with him and your build. I had a fun time fighting Gideon. Him as a character is great. I think a lot more could have been done to make him a much more better, memorable boss fight, like the A tiers and S tiers. But I'll say I can't deny I had a good time with Gideon, but I'm well aware there's some bullshit with him, and he can be piss easy or super hard. Totally depends on the build. But yeah, I think B tier's fine for Gideon. Astel, Natural Born of the Void, S tier. Again, like Godric, like Loretta, like Regal Ancestor Spirit, Astel is a fair challenge. He does have a couple attacks with some bullshit hitboxes, I admit, but besides those couple attacks with the bullshit hitboxes, all his other attacks are readable, dodgeable. You can fight him with a variety of builds and loadouts. Absolute visual spectacle. Great music. He's tied together with Ronnie's questline and acts as like a great final... Well, would you consider Flying Dragon Smeagol? Smeagol? I forget. The magic dragon, the glintstone dragon. I wouldn't consider him a final boss since you can fucking, like, straight up avoid him and ignore him if you wanted to. I'd say, yeah, Astel is more the final hurdle. Astel is the final hurdle to completing Ronnie's questline, and it's a great reward for the Ronnie questline. He gives some awesome rewards. Again, visual spectacle, amazing music, incredible boss design, just such a cool creature. And, like, again, besides a couple attacks with bullshit hitboxes, I do admit, I can't deny I had a really fun time fighting Astel. I really like Astel. I put him up there in S tier. He was a pretty good challenge. I'm glad you agree, Gaia. Red, hello. You beat Astel with 1 hit point. Congrats, Red. Congrats. That prick stomped my rig multiple times. Sorry to hear, Cronus. Yeah, that laser beam attack that he starts off with when you enter the boss arena, you gotta be prepared for that. But yeah, I'd say Astel's S tier. Really liked Astel. Dragonkin Soldier! B tier. He's fine. Again, visual spectacle. On the visual spectacle front, I love his design. Like his attacks. Few bullshit hitboxes. He's fine. I don't really have much to say about him either besides I like his looks. He's a cool looking creature. Cool looking character. Not much else to him, I find. He's fine. He's a fine boss. Full-grown falling star beast. S tier. I really... Oh, 1 second, everybody. Family stuff to take care of. I will be right back, everyone. Excuse me while I take care of family matters. Hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry about that. So sorry. You guys know how it is. Family comes first. Gotta take care of that. Anyways, as I was saying, full-grown falling star beast. I had like Regal Ancestor Spirit. I really love this boss fight. I love his design, and I just had a really good time fighting him. Like, he's got a bit of bullshit. Again, got a bit of bullshit, I admit, with the hitboxes of some of his attacks, but for the most part, I fought this boss. Killed me a few times. But I slowly learned the attacks, got used to his movements, was able to get some good hits, and it felt like I was having a proper duel, a proper battle one-on-one with this beast. But I was playing DS3 for the first time today, 62 hours so far, just beat the Nameless King in 30 minutes! Well done, Wub! I love Dark Souls free. I hope you're enjoying it. If you missed Godfrey, me talking about Godfrey, yeah, I put Godfrey in A tier. Guilty. Oh, what was I saying? Yes. Yeah, so I'm glad you're playing Dark Souls free. I hope you're enjoying it. Congrats, Wup. Congrats. Full-grown Falling Star Beast. Again, visual spectacle, solid music, just incredible alien monstrous design. He has such a unique and cool design. The boss arena you fight him in is also really unique. It's this giant crater, this mountainous crater in the middle of Mount Gilmer next to Volcano Manor. I can't be entirely objective with full-grown Falling Star Beast like I can with like Regal Ancestor Spirit. My personal experience with him, I just had such a good time fighting him, but if he does have some flaws, like, I'm just not registering them, because, like, my experience was just so solid, and I had such a fun time fighting him. So yeah, S tier for me. Falling Star Beast goes S tier. Really enjoyed fighting him. Soldier of Godric. Soldier of Godric's the tutorial boss. I don't care. And besides, whoever made this list, John didn't remember or care enough for the Soldier of Godric to put him on the list. So, there you go. Oh boy, now we come to the 2, or in this case, 3 most controversial bosses in Elden Ring. Malenia, Blade of Miquella, Ragaddon the Golden Order, and the Elden Beast. So, here we go. Malenia. I think the fairest place to put Malenia, and based off my personal experience with her, I'm going to put in A tier. I'm going to put Malenia in A tier. Because I agree with folks that her Waterfell dance, or Waterfowl dance, however you pronounce it, I'm going to call it Waterfell. Her Waterfell dance attack is bullshit. Undeniably bullshit. The fact that she can spam that stuff, do one right after the other, the range, the hitbox, the time to dodge it, like... Now, and here's the thing. It would be okay if she had Waterfell dance, but didn't have the insane tracking, and didn't have this insane speed. When I first fought Malenia, when I entered the boss arena and the cutscene ended, okay, time to prep. Let's chug some potions, take some boost, stuff like that. She immediately, like, just was on my ass. Like, she did this, like, dash towards me. She dashed halfway across the arena and immediately melee attacked me out of trying to, like, buff myself. Like, whoa, shit. Her tracking, her speed. Again, now, but there are, oh god, here's the thing though, but there's some times where Malenia is fair, where she will, like, just not attack you, slowly walk towards you, giving you a chance to recover and buff yourself and take potions. Oh, but that fucking Waterfell dance, man. God. I think Malenia's a really mixed bag, because the good about her is so good. Character-wise, she's awesome, has great lore and backstory. Visual spectacle, of course. Fantastic music. Oh, man. But her insane tracking, her insane speed. Again, like, she can, like, endlessly combo spam if she wants to. The thing about Malenia is, depending on her RNG, you're either going to have a great time or a miserable time. And that Waterfell, there's so much RNG with her boss fight. But again, when it's good, when the pieces align, when the RNGs are good, it's a solid back and forth. She can be so good. She can be so fun. She can be such a good challenge. But then she decides to endlessly combo spam you and Waterfell dance and nonsense. And we're just talking about the first phase. We haven't gotten to the second phase with Scarlet Rot and those fucking duplicate clones that she can throw at you. Oh, man. I'd say with some tuning and a little bit of rebalancing, Malenia could easily be S tier. She easily has the potential to be S tier. I see why people love her. I see why people hate her. I had an alright time with her. The highs were high, but the lows were low. So I'd say A tier. Malenia, she's so good, and she has the potential to be one of the greatest boss battles in FromSoft history, the greatest boss battle in Elden Ring. There's so much that's so good about her, but God, if she was just rebalanced just a little bit, a few aspects here and there, I think she would be phenomenal. So, A tier, I'm going to go A tier with her based on my personal experiences. High highs, low lows, but I can't deny there's so much that's so good about her. Yeah, let me solo her. Let me solo her. What a fucking badass legend that man is. Oh, incredible player. And that's the thing about these Souls games. That's the thing about From Software games. They make legends. From Software games make incredible stories and incredible community moments happen. Yeah. Oh, fucking boy. Ragaddon of the Golden Order and Elden Beast. Ragaddon and Beast. I wish these bosses were separate. I wish I could rate these bosses separately, but because they're tied together, because Ragadon's phase 1 and Beast is phase 2, you gotta kind of put them together. I totally get that. Oh, man. Fuck. I don't know. Because both of them are absolute visual spectacles with stellar music and solid boss arenas. God. Both of them have attacks that are fair and dodgeable and readable, but both of them... Well, Elden Beast has a unique issue where he keeps swimming and flying away, so you're barely able to get hits on him, whether it's ranged or melee, because he just keeps flying and swimming away from you. I agree with a lot of people online that say it feels like Elden Beast should have let you use Torrent during the fight. Like, the fight would have been so much better if you were allowed to use Torrent, and I wholly agree, and I hope in a future patch or DLC they let you fight Elden Beast with Torrent. I think that would make the fight so much better. But as it is, because Ragadon, again, he can be solid. You can get into a good rhythm with Ragadon and have a good fight, a good solid challenge fight. But again, combo spam. Some of his combo spam is insane, and the AOE on some of his the AOE on some of his hitboxes for some of his attacks are just fucking mental. Just mental. Oh, man. Because, again, the thing about Ragadon and Elden Beast is that the highs can be high, but the lows can be so low. There's such a spectrum of good and bad, fun and miserable time that can be had with this one. Again, the visual spectacle, I cannot deny the incredible music. I understand, Guilty, why you hate Elden Beast. I understand why anyone hates Elden Beast. Again, I had a mixed time with Elden Beast, because on one hand, I absolutely adore the visual spectacle, the music, the arena, some of the attacks that are dodgeable. But he keeps fucking flying and swimming away, and so much of the fight is just spent running after him. Sober Scott, hello, welcome to the stream. We haven't got to the ranting and reacting to bad Elden Ring takes yet. Just doing a Elden Ring tier list right now, going over the boss battles. We're on the final boss right now, so Elden Ring spoilers if you haven't played Elden Ring, of course. I think the best play, like, again, high highs, low lows. I think there's just a bit too much bullshit with both Ragadon and Elden Beast, and just having them tied together as the same boss, I'm gonna have to put him in B. I've got to put him in B tier. I feel like that's the fairest place to put him, just because of how much bullshit is associated with this boss. Like, again, high highs, lows lows, but unfortunately the low lows are just they bring down the bosses, both these bosses, just a bit too much. And I'd say that's my Elden Ring boss tier list. So, what do you think, chat? What do you think? Am I crazy? Am I right on the money? Am I out of my mind? Am I a sheep following trends? What do you all think of my tier list? Where do you think I stand in terms of, like, having not shit opinions? Oh, BB! Hey, darling! So good to see you back. And awake. Hope you slept well, love. Hope you slept well. So yeah, while I'm waiting for all of you to respond, I will say, well, based on the tier list, as y'all can see, how many bosses is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holy shit, there's 10! I have a top 10! I have a top 10 favorite Elden Ring bosses. Oh, well, I didn't realize this came out to 10. Perfectly even. Okay, so my top 10 Elden Ring bosses are Godric the Grafted, Loretta, Rykard, Radon, Fortisax, Morgott, Mog, Ancestor Spirit, Astel, and Falling Star Beast. Those are my favorite bosses in Elden Ring. So, what do you have to say for yourself, chat? When is everyone not giving me a hard time, BB? Well, the pin wasn't pulled, so you're safe. Haha. I mean, since I know nothing about ER right now, I guess cool, I guess, lol. Very true, wub. Yes, you're I'm sorry to be the grammar policeman, but it's your, not your. It's you. Shit. It's Y-O-U-R-E, not U-Y-O-U. I'm sorry to be that guy. But yes, Godric SS tier. I gotcha, man. I gotcha. We bully because we care. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you. Well, congrats on cheesing the Elden Beast, Cronus Prime. You fared better than a lot of us. Very true, Daddy Bottom. Very true. Alright. So that's the Elden Ring tier list. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope this tier list gives you an idea of like what you can expect from my future Elden Ring videos. I will be making Elden Ring videos. Talk about what I like, what I dislike, the goods and bads, etc., etc. This is who knows, this tier list may change as I replay Elden Ring to get footage. Who knows? But that's the Elden Ring tier list. I hope you liked, hope you enjoyed. It is now time to react to the bad Elden Ring takes. Oh my goodness. Because now here's the thing. Here's the thing about Elden Ring. I can there's a lot about Elden Ring that's very, very subjective and that is going to vary based on your personal experience. Is it overall objectively a good game? Yes. But your enjoyment of the game is going to vary. It's going to greatly vary based on how you play the game, how you explore the open world, your build, your loadout, all that stuff. Your experience will vary with Elden Ring, and I can totally understand some people having a miserable time, a fucking phenomenal time. It's really going to vary person to person. But there are just some things about Elden Ring that are factual, that are objective, that if you say... Basically... how do I put this? There are some people that like other Souls games more than Elden Ring, and that's totally fine. I totally understand that. That makes total sense. But when you start lying, when you start saying things about Elden Ring that aren't true in order to build up other games like, say, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, per se, that's where I take issue. So, the video we're going to be reacting and criticizing this stream today is a video by one, you may have heard of this YouTuber, perhaps. If you watch Destiny content, I'm sure if you guys watch Destiny content, are in the know in the community of Destiny 2, then you have heard of a YouTuber by the name of Evan F. 1997. So, he released a video a couple weeks ago called Bloodborne is Better Than Elden Ring. And this caught my eye, caught my attention, especially after beating Elden Ring. Now, the first two chunks of the video, are just him talking about Bloodborne. He doesn't even bring up Elden Ring for the first 5 minutes of the video. Elden Ring is barely mentioned. No comparisons are made. No arguments are made against Elden Ring. He's just praising Bloodborne, and that's fine. I want to play Bloodborne so bad. I'd love to play Bloodborne. I hear nothing but good things about it. I know Bloodborne is like literally one of the greatest video games ever made of all time, and I hope one day I get to play it. I really do. That being said, you can praise Bloodborne without lying about Elden Ring, because for the next, how many minutes? For the next 5 minutes, Evan is going to lie his fucking ass off about Elden Ring. Oh yeah, Carcino, I know it's off topic, but I'll pitch in on that. Yes, totally excited for the new Star Wars game from Respawn. Anything Respawn puts out is gold, so always excited for new Star Wars games. Anyways, so for the next 5 minutes, Evan is going to lie about Elden Ring to raise up Bloodborne. Again, Bloodborne's a great game. Elden Ring's a great game. You can praise Bloodborne without fucking lying about Elden Ring. Again, I'm not a FromSoft fanboy. Keep that in mind. I'm not a FromSoft fanboy. I don't live and breathe Souls games. I don't think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think they're great video games. I don't think they're they're not my favorite video games of all time. They're not the greatest things of all time. There are some people out there that live and breathe Souls games and are fanatical about them. I'm not one of those people. This isn't even about Elden Ring, really. This is just about Evan telling ridiculous lies, and we're going to make fun of and criticize his ridiculous, nonsensical lies that he tells. For I don't know why the fuck he tells these lies. Holy shit! Miss Moonified! Mooney is in the chat! Hey, Mooney! Hey, love, I'm so happy to see you. All the love to you, dear. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Guys, here, let me link Miss Moonified stuff. Give me just a second here. Miss Moonified has been going on a roll on Twitch and live streaming on Twitch. She's getting into VTubing and has a brilliant, awesome looking VTuber model in the works. Miss Moonified, ever the entrepreneur, throwing on some fantastic live streams, having a fun old time. You should absolutely be following her, checking her out, enjoying her fun as hell streams. God damn it, Mooney. Just got done streaming horror stuff. Oh, I miss you too, Moon. I miss you too. Hit me up. Hit me up, girl. Hit me up. Let's talk. Let's catch up. Anyways, follow her on Twitch. Check out her Twitch channel. Check out her awesome live streams. They are so much fun. She is a riot. I'm sure you all already know this. Now, it is time. Prepare, everyone, to facepalm. Prepare to facepalm. This is gonna be rough. If you've played Elden Ring, what you're about to hear from Evan will hurt. Oh boy. Oh, I forgot to put on the headphones. Oh boy. Here we go.
In Elden Ring, the player finds themselves awoken in a sprawling world.
Why don't I hear anything?
Sites all around.
Oh, my headphones turned themselves off, because of course they did. God damn it. There we go. Let's try this again.
In Elden Ring, the player finds themselves awoken in a sprawling world with many sights all around.
Very true.
And the freedom of choice to explore any direction at their own leisure. The only hint of a purpose to your adventure is the brief exposition presented in the opening cinematic.
Immediately, that's not fucking true. There's the whole conversation with White Mask Varric. I'm just going to call him White Mask. There's the whole conversation with the White Mask NPC who fills you in as soon as you leave. There's the tutorial. There's fucking Melina when you... Melina. There's Melina, and you talk to her at the bonfire. There's the round table hold once you get to the round table hold. Either going around Stormvale... Stormvale, right? I think it's Stormvale. I'm just going to call it Stormvale. Stormvale Castle. There's the bonfire around Stormvale Castle, and you can get to round table hold early. There's beating Margit and getting to round table. Again, this is... the story of Elden Ring is the most accessible and least vague story of a FromSoft game. There's mystery in Elden Ring, absolutely, but not nearly as much as in the Dark Souls games, where Dark Souls, the majority of their story is told through item descriptions, weapon and armor descriptions. Elden Ring has an actual, more straightforward, out-in-the-open story with tons of NPCs and characters to talk to you that fill you in on the goings-on of the world and your goal. It's not just the opening cutscene. You're wrong, Evan. That's just wrong. It's not just the opening cutscene. You have White Mask Varric, you have the tutorial, you have Melina. It's not just the opening cutscene. Immediately, Evan, that's not fucking true.
Sites all around, and the freedom of choice to explore any direction at their own leisure. The only hint of a purpose to your adventure is the brief exposition presented in the opening cinematic.
Not true.
Stories of characters you will face, lands you will explore,
Uh-huh.
and, well, not much else.
That's a fucking lie! That's not true, Evan! We already went over this. That's not true! You are constantly finding NPCs to talk to. There's the Round Table Hold. There's Gideon, the all-knowing. There's Melina. There's White Mask. This is not true! This is just flat out not true. And anyone who plays Elden Ring can tell you for a fact what you just said here is a fucking lie. It's not just the opening cutscene and not much else. That's bullshit. Oh, man.
The game presents us with complete freedom in a Souls sandbox, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No one said it was a
Elden
bad
Ring is like
thing.
A box of chocolates. You just never know what you're gonna get, and this box is so deep, it feels like your hand will never reach the bottom. While Bloodborne may not have nearly as much depth or possibilities for player agency, it offers something.
Now that's a lie about Bloodborne! What the fuck are you on about, man? I haven't even played Bloodborne, but I've watched Bloodborne gameplay, I've watched videos and live streams, I've watched Fringe play Bloodborne. That's not true at all! Again, like every Souls game, there are builds. You have a variety of weapons and armor. You can, like... That's just not true. There's tons of agency. There's tons of variety. Again, this video is about praising Bloodborne and lifting up Bloodborne, and then he fucking lies about Bloodborne and brings it down. Why are you lying, Evan? First you lie about Elden Ring, now you're lying about Bloodborne. Both these statements you've made about these games, these arguments you've made, are not fucking true. Anyone who's played both of these games can tell you what you just said here is factually, objectively false. Why are you saying these things?
Elden Ring never fully does. Your hand will never reach the bottom.
Well, let's just go back to this box of chocolate statements for a second here.
Sandbox, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No one said it was a bad
Elden
thing.
Ring is like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're gonna get. And this box is so deep, it feels like your hand will never reach the bottom.
In terms of content, if he's referring to gameplay content, then yes, that's a fair statement to make. But but at the beginning of the segment, he was talking about the story. And then all of a sudden, he hard shifts to what I assume is gameplay, unless he's relating this to the story, which doesn't make any sense. And then he makes this statement about Bloodborne.
While Bloodborne may not have nearly as much depth or possibilities for player
Lies, not
agency,
true.
It offers something Elden Ring never fully does.
Oh?
Purpose.
Dog shit! That's a lie! Why are you lying? Elden Ring absolutely provides you with purpose. What are you on about, Evan? That's factually untrue. From the beginning of the game, the opening cutscene, a variety of NPCs, everyone in Elden Ring is telling you, find the demigods, kill the demigods, take their great runes, get to the Erd Tree, become Elden Lord. That is your purpose! The game non-stop beats this into you. NPCs constantly tell this to you at the end of multiple quest lines, side quest lines for characters. They actively ask you, tell you, beseech you, tarnished, become Elden Lord, save the world, become Elden Lord. What the fuck are... Listen to that again.
While Bloodborne may not have nearly as much depth or possibilities for player agency, it offers something Elden Ring never fully does. Purpose.
Dog shit! That's dog shit, Evan! You're fucking lying! Why are you lying, Evan? That's not true! Did you even play Elden Ring? When he makes statements like this, I'm convinced he hasn't played Elden Ring. I don't think he's played Elden Ring. Especially because, look at this. All the gameplay in this fucking video isn't his. Even the Bloodborne gameplay. It's all... Now, credit where credit is due. He credits everyone he's taken gameplay footage of. But isn't that fucking suspicious? Isn't that fucking suspicious? He's making all these statements about Elden Ring that aren't true, and anyone who's played Elden Ring would know they're not true, and all the gameplay in his video isn't his own. Has Evan not played Elden Ring? I think that's a fair assumption to make, that this guy hasn't played Elden Ring. Exactly, Carcino, ignoring the purpose of becoming Elden Lord. You really don't have a plug? Exactly! And not just that, he's lying about Bloodborne. Bloodborne... Now, he does make a statement here about Bloodborne. His next statement here is true about Bloodborne, about how it's a mystery, and I'll let him say that. But just one last thing before we move on. Elden Ring clearly, definitively tells you your purpose. They give you a purpose of what to do in the game. What the main questline, what the main story of Elden Ring is focusing on. When Evan makes this statement, it leads me to believe that he hasn't played Elden Ring.
In Bloodborne, the world doesn't move without the player. In Elden Ring...
Oh, I'll let him finish. I'll let him finish, but I'm about to go off.
Purpose. In Bloodborne, the world doesn't move without the player. In Elden Ring, the world would persist whether you were in the story or not.
That's fucking dog shit. Okay, I take back my statement. I thoroughly believe that Evan has not played Elden Ring. I believe he has not played Elden Ring. He has not played it. There's no way you can come to these ridiculous, nonsensical conclusions, these false conclusions that they're just not true. They're lies. They're not true. They're not present in reality. This does not represent reality. Oh my god. Okay, first off, yes, it's true. In Bloodborne, the player affects the world. The player's actions affect the world. You know what other games the player's actions affect the world in? Elden Ring! The world would not progress, it would not change, it would not grow, it would not evolve without the efforts of the Tarnished. Tell me, Evan, would the Erd Tree have been burned? Would the Death Mark have been released if not for the Tarnished? Would the demigods be fucking dead if not for the Tarnished? Would the Round Table Hold not have burned to the ground? Would Gideon, the all-knowing, not have died if not for the fucking Tarnished? Would Ronnie have been able to fulfill her destiny and fulfill her purpose of freeing herself from the two fingers if not for the player, if not for the Tarnished? In Elden Ring, the Tarnished infects the entirety of the lands between. The Tarnished is like the main pivotal factor of having this world grow, evolve, and change. Exactly, Prune. There's literally 2 to 3 world states based on the player's actions. Evan is fucking lying, and I'm convinced he hasn't played Elden Ring. And not just that, his statement that, oh, if the Tarnished wasn't in the world of Elden Ring, the world wouldn't change. It would go on without them. That's bullshit! The whole premise of Elden Ring is that the lands between is in a standstill. It's stagnant. The demigods have all fucked off to their own little kingdoms. They're having their little wars of territory, but not much ground is being gained. Radahn's gone mad. Millennia's held up in the Halig tree. All this shit. The Tarnished is brought in by, we assume, it may not be the Greater... No, actually, yeah, it is by Marika and the Greater Will. Marika and the Greater Will bring in the Tarnished in order to get things fucking going. Because the demigods, in their struggle, have left the world in a stagnant state. So Marika and the Greater Will summon the Tarnished to come to the lands between and get shit done. Again, if Evan had played Elden Ring, he would fucking know this. Evan lied. This statement is a lie. I'm gonna let him say it again.
See, it offers something Elden Ring never fully does. Purpose.
That's a lie.
In Bloodborne, the world doesn't move without the player.
That's
In
true.
Elden Ring, the world would persist whether you were in the story or not.
That's a fucking lie. That is a fucking lie. Both Bloodborne and Elden Ring are identical in terms of the story agency of the player character. That's a fucking lie, Evan. You are fucking lying. You are lying about Elden Ring. I don't know why you're lying, but you're lying. You're lying. Anyone who's played Elden Ring can tell you your statement right here is objectively false. Moving on.
You see, Bloodborne at its core is a mystery.
That's
there are
true.
hints to solve this mystery strategically placed in each environment.
That's
You may
true.
find yourself coming across an item on the ground, and upon picking it up, you are grabbed by a presence that you don't have enough insight to understand yet.
Again, this is all
Even
true.
the
No
boss
arguments from
design
me.
throughout the game suggests clues to the reality of just what curses the city. As
And also Elden Ring? The bosses, too, tell a story. Godric the Grafted, his whole environment, his whole location, Stormvale Castle, is filled with the mangled, mutilated remains and corpses of body parts of his victims, which he's grafted to himself to make himself stronger, become a true demigod, to compare himself to Godfrey and Radahn and all these other powerful warrior demigods. Radahn's whole area, like, oh, his whole boss, the cutscene, the area tells the story of countless battles of people who have tried to fight Radahn and failed. The Halig tree with Melania, Rhea Lucaria with Renala. Like, the bosses and their areas all tell stories. It's just... Bloodborne isn't unique. Bloodborne isn't the first game to do this, and Elden Ring does the exact same fucking thing. Again... Bloodborne storytelling, its mystery, its world building is excellent. I'm not denying that. But Elden Ring does the same thing, and it's also great. So, I don't know why you're lying, Evan. I don't know why you're lying, but you're fucking lying. You're lying. You're lying. What you're saying isn't true. You're lying. I don't know what to say. You're lying. You're a lying liar.
As you fight through these tragic characters, you may use an attack combo and then accidentally find yourself hitting the L1 button, breaking the one-dimensional weapon into something completely new.
What the fuck? Evan, you're talking about the story in world. Why are you talking about switching the weapon stance or the weapon type? Okay, just as a video creator, as someone who writes scripts for videos, that was just a terrible nonsensical transition. Listen to this. Listen to what he's talking about, and listen to how he transitions into this.
Throughout the game suggests clues to the reality of just what curses the city. As you fight through these tragic characters, you may use an attack combo and then accidentally find yourself hitting the L1 button, breaking the one-dimensional weapon into something completely new.
Those things had nothing to do with one another. Evan, what the fuck is... Your script is dog shit. This is terrible writing. Like, you didn't listen to this and think, that doesn't flow well together. That doesn't connect well together. That doesn't make any sense. I should rewrite that. No! What did the fuck? Yes! Bloodborne, weapons have secondary modes. What does that have to do with the story? It's such a bizarre transition. Yes, guilty. I've watched some of Evan's videos, and they are, in fact, all over the place. Exactly, Carcino. Radon stopped the stars, hence name Scourge of the Stars. Again, Elden Ring does this shit! Exactly! Ashes of War! And Elden Ring has Ashes of War! In trying to prop up Bloodborne, he's lying about Elden Ring and ignoring all the features it shares with Bloodborne. Yes! Yes, that's right, Prune. Elden Ring and Bloodborne both straight up tell you how to use weapon arts and use the secondary modes of your weapons. These things aren't hidden. Has Evan even played? Oh my god, guys, chat, let's have a vote. Do you think Evan has played Bloodborne or Elden Ring, or that he's just jumping on a popular bandwagon? Do you think he just made this video as clickbait for views? Do you think he's played either of these games? Because listen to his fucking statements. They don't make any sense. They don't properly represent the games. He's saying things about both games that aren't fucking true. So I wonder, has he played either of these games? And this video is, like, he literally just made this video for clicks. I wonder. I fucking wonder. Has he played either of these games? I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't. Not sure he plays games. He plays a lot of Destiny. I know that for sure, at least, Prune. So let's continue. So where is he going with this whole thing about secondary weapons?
Bloodborne constantly rewards the player for learning and mastering its world.
Are you fucking kidding me? Evan! Elden Ring does the exact same thing! Elden Ring constantly rewards you for exploring its world, fighting new weapons and spells. That's the whole point of the fucking game, is to explore the sandbox and utilize the tools in the sandbox. Elden Ring does the exact same thing! You haven't played Elden Ring. You haven't played Elden Ring. I am convinced this motherfucker has not played Elden Ring. He hasn't played Elden Ring. That's it. That's it. This whole video is based on a fucking lie. Holy shit. I want to see chat. Clickbait. I believe it 1000% clickbait. I'm hinting towards no. Nah, fam. He has never played Elden Ring. I'm glad we see eye to eye, chat. I'll wait a moment for you guys, because there's a stream delay. I'm gonna wait a moment for this to catch up. Every From Software game does. True. Soulsborne games in general do that. Very true, Pepper Agent. What's environmental storytelling? Oh my god. He just keeps lying! He keeps lying! It's clear he hasn't played Elden Ring. It's the only explanation for the nonsense shit he's saying. Let's hear him say that again.
One button, breaking the one-dimensional weapon into something completely new.
Has nothing to do with anything.
Bloodborne constantly rewards the player for learning and mastering its world.
So does Elden Ring. They both do the exact same fucking thing.
With 42 weapons, 26 of those being main hand, and the other...
There's even more weapons in Elden Ring. There's even more spells in Elden Ring. Elden Ring has even more shit to play with.
There's 16 being offhand. Combat always feels fresh and exciting.
Elden Ring's combat can also always feel fresh and exciting, because again, you have almost infinite build diversity with the amount of weapons, spells, armor sets, talismans, you name it. You can play Elden Ring a shit ton of different ways. So, yeah, what you're saying about Bloodborne is true, but what you're saying is also true for Elden Ring. But you're implying that Elden Ring doesn't have these things and doesn't do these things. So again, Evan, you're fucking lying, and I'm convinced you haven't played Elden Ring, because everything you're saying about Bloodborne can be applied to Elden Ring. So the fact that you're implying that Elden Ring doesn't have these things is just false, not true, delusional.
With an emphasis on speed and fluidity.
Elden Ring can also has an emphasis. Elden Ring can also have an emphasis on speed and fluidity. Do a build that consists of daggers and rapiers and spells and incantations with fast casting times. You can absolutely play this game fast-paced. Holy shit! Get Melania's Great Rune with the health that basically takes Bloodborne's health regen mechanic. Get Melania's Great Rune and play Elden Ring like Bloodborne if you want to. You can make a Bloodborne build in Elden Ring.
Still Bloodborne, combat in From Software titles always felt calculated and heavy, leaning towards finding a window to strike in between enemies' punishing attacks.
That's true.
Oh, did I mention that each of those 26 main hand weapons has an alternate form by pressing L1 that
yes, you did. You literally already mentioned this. Here, we'll go back to you fucking mentioning this.
what curses the city? As you fight through these tragic characters, you may use an attack combo and then accidentally find yourself hitting the L1 button, breaking the one-dimensional weapon into something completely new.
You literally already said this, you fucking dumbass.
Axe. Oh, did I mention that each of those 26 main hand weapons has an alternate form by pressing L1 that completely reinvents the way you use it?
Yes, you fucking dumbass. You literally said that a minute ago. Why are you saying, did I mention this? You did mention this, and now you're just repeating yourself, and we went off topic again. You were talking about, okay, here's the things that Bloodborne has that Elden Ring doesn't have. And now you're repeating this whole shit about weapons having secondary modes. Evan, your script is terrible. Dex builds, exactly, Carcino. Ashes of War, exactly. This dude, I swear, I know Gaia. I fucking can't with this guy. I can't. No, not only is Evan a liar, his scripts are also terrible. He repeats himself and then goes, oh, did I already mention? Yes, you already mentioned, literally a minute ago. It was out of place, out of nowhere, but you mentioned it, and now you're mentioning it again, out of place, out of nowhere. Jesus Christ. Where does he go from here? Oh my god, we still got another 5 minutes to go.
No longer is a hand axe small, no longer is this a bow, and you may want to clean up the mess that this one makes. The combat in Bloodborne evolved from the FromSoft formula of getting hit and healing, to now getting hit, hit back, and hit back harder.
You can do this in Elden Ring. There are talismans, and there are great runes, and there are ashes of war that support this playstyle. Oh my god, do you think he even knows about Melania's Great Rune? I bet you, Evan hasn't even fought Melania, hasn't beat Melania, hasn't got her Great Rune, doesn't even know about the health regen mechanic from Bloodborne that's in Elden Ring via Melania's Great Rune. I bet you good fucking money he has no idea about Melania, hasn't fought Melania, doesn't know about her Great Rune. Bet you money. Bet you good money. Are you assuming he has scripts? That's a good point, Red. That's a good point. He could just be bullshitting for 13 minutes. It's like a kid trying to describe why he likes a video game. It's true, Guilty. It's true. But he's not a kid. This is a grown-ass man. This is a grown-ass man with over 270,000 subscribers. And he can't write a proper script that doesn't make him sound like a child. You can, Carcino's got a nail on the head. You can literally beat the game with a strength build, dex build, intelligence build, strength intelligence build, faith build. Any sort of build works. Any rune works. Exactly. Elden Ring is filled to the brim with customization and tons of play styles. Especially New Game Plus. I haven't even started New Game Plus yet, but I already know when I start New Game Plus, it's going to be a blast because I'm going into New Game Plus with a shit ton of weapons and armor and runes and spells, and I'll be able to tackle all these early game scenarios in a variety of ways I couldn't before. Christ, man. Let's let him continue.
Rallying your health from near death to full health without consuming a healing item.
You can do that in Elden Ring.
Ask you, why in From Software's latest entry, Elden Ring, do we return to the age-old formula without any real reinvention?
You dumbass motherfucker. You fucking lying piece of shit. You're lying, Evan. You're fucking lying. And not just that, the footage you stole from other YouTubers because you're too fucking lazy to record your old footage. Yes, I know. He credited people. Yes, he credits the footage. He credits the people he stole footage from. But here's the thing. It's one thing if you're, like, making a general video about Dark Souls and... If you're making a general video about Bloodborne and Elden Ring, you're talking about, I don't know, lore. You're talking about, I don't know, news, stories, like a documentary, the build-up and release, fan reaction. There's no problem with using random background footage from other creators, of course, as long as you credit them. But you're making a video called Bloodborne is Better Than Elden Ring. You're talking about fucking gameplay mechanics and content and various items, and you're not showing any of your own gameplay. It makes one wonder, have you ever played these games before? What builds did you use? How did you play the game? Did you use summons? Did you go solo? What weapons did you use? What armor did you use? How did you play the fucking game that made you come to these ridiculous conclusions and end up lying about Elden Ring? And not just that. The immediate contradiction of showing Bloodborne gameplay,
from the FromSoft formula,
evolving formula,
to now getting hit
and hitting back harder.
Hit back harder.
Yes, and what's
rallying your health from
rallying your health? Yeah.
Health without consuming.
And then what's the first gameplay clip you show?
Why in FromSoft?
Malenia! The first one he shows is Malenia! You know, the fucking boss who rewards you with her great rune, who lets you play the game like Bloodborne with the health regen? He hasn't played Elden Ring. There's no way he should be showing Malenia gameplay right after the whole Bloodborne thing and talking about the health regen mechanic. I'm convinced he hasn't fought Malenia. He doesn't know about about her rewards. He hasn't played Elden Ring. He doesn't know about the build variety. He hasn't. Like, he just exposed himself. Oh, man. Did he not use runes? I know, guilty. Clearly foreign to this Joker. Yep. Yep, you can beat the build with an intelligence build, absolutely. Using just spells or various weapons suited for intelligence. Someone beat a game with a shield on? Yeah. Oh my god, Elden Ring has the most build diversity and playstyle diversity of any FromSoft game. If you want to play Elden Ring like Bloodborne, you can! Oh man, let's let him continue.
Health without consuming a healing item. So I want to ask you, why in FromSoftware's latest entry, Elden Ring, do we return to the age-old formula?
We didn't!
Without any real reinvention.
Dog shit! Dog shit! There's tons of reinvention. There's tons of reinvention. The Great Runes. Oh, the customization of Tal's Ashes of War! Ashes of War! Of course, he's going to bring up Torrent and riding the horse. So, we got Torrent, we got Horse Combat, we got Ashes of War, we've got Great Runes, we've got, what else? Oh, we've got a variety of unique boss weapons with unique attacks. Man, we got a variety of talismans with effects. We've got build crafting. We've got build crafting in Elden Ring. The build crafting has never been as deep in any other FromSoftware game as it is in Elden Ring. Elden Ring has evolved the FromSoft formula, evolved the combat by providing an excessive wealth of options.
Without any real reinvention.
Dog shit, you're a liar.
There's a horse, and sure, there's a jump, but even...
That's it? That's all you consider new? Torrent and jumping. That's it. Not Ashes of War, not the Great Runes, not the build crafting, not the huge variety of weapons, not the huge variety of fucking spells, not... Just horse and jumping. That's all that's new to Elden Ring, everybody. Torrent and jumping. That's all it's got new that's going for it. That's all that's new. I know, guys. I know. Be- it's frustrating, eh? I can tell you all getting frustrated as I am.
Sekiro presented us with a new way for players to engage in combat with the stance system. After 7 years, you can
That's true. Sekiro provided a new way in combat. So does Elden Ring.
pick up Bloodborne and have a brand new experience in the Chalice dungeons, with new bosses even being discovered as far as 4 years after the game was presented us with a new way for players to engage in combat with the stance system. After 7 years, you can pick up Bloodborne and have a brand new experience in the Chalice dungeons.
You can also pick up Elden Ring 7 years later and have a brand new experience by trying out a different build. Exploring different areas you didn't before, getting certain items and weapons first, just playing the game in New Game Plus. If you never played a Souls game in New Game Plus before, you can have new experiences in Elden Ring. You can also have new experiences in Bloodborne, of course. I'm not denying that. And sure, yes, you can have new experiences in the Chalice dungeons because it's all procedurally generated. People like Chalice dungeons. Chalice dungeons are cool. I hope when I get to play Bloodborne, I can play these Chalice dungeons. But just because Bloodborne has Chalice dungeons doesn't mean it has, like, all of a sudden, mountains of more replayability than Elden Ring. Both games have great replayability.
With new bosses even being discovered as far as 4 years after the...
Yes, new bosses are being discovered in the Chalice dungeons via modders. By data miners and modders who are going into the game's files and finding cut content. This isn't like RNG, like, oh, there's just so many RNG bosses in the Chalice dungeons. No, the reason new bosses are being discovered because of modders and data miners. So that's another lie, Evan.
The game was released. Bloodborne's Chalice dungeons are very much like Elden Ring's dungeons.
No, they aren't. Chalice dungeons are procedural. They're procedural fucking dungeons. Elden Ring's dungeons are like little side quests. They're like little side quests. They're side content. They've got some armor, weapons, and spells locked behind them, but they're totally optional. And each dungeon, every single dungeon in Elden Ring is different from one another. They may not be procedural generated, but they will provide a unique experience. Yes, they do copy a lot of assets. A lot of dungeons copy a lot of access, but there's also a fair amount of dungeons that are totally unique, have unique gimmicks, all that shit. But let's let him finish his point.
You enter a labyrinth and need to find a lever to then fight a boss and reap the reward.
Did he actually compare Stoneward keys to levers? Excuse me. Stoneward keys are not levers. Stoneward keys are a consumable resource, which you have to manage. And not all dungeons require Stoneward keys. Some dungeons have optional areas that require keys. Some dungeons are like high-level dungeons that require Stoneward keys. But not every fucking dungeon has Stoneward keys tied to them. And Stoneward keys are a consumable item. They're a limited consumable item. Chalice dungeons in Bloodborne, you just pull a fucking lever. It's not the same thing.
You need to find a lever to then fight a boss and reap the rewards. In Elden Ring, once the boss is defeated and the reward collected, you never have to touch the dungeon again.
That's true. There's nothing wrong with that.
In fact, on follow-up playthroughs in the New Game Plus, many players would rather avoid most dungeons, opting for a more linear path to the best portions of the game.
What's wrong with that? They already did that side content. They got the rewards from it in New Game Plus. Why would they do it again? Unless there was a dungeon boss they really liked, but yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense to go then do the main story content. Go after the demigods. Go to the big legacy dungeon main areas. Like, you're not required to replay the fucking dungeons. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. Oh, but Bloodborne has challenge dungeons that are procedural and replayable. Yeah? So what? Bloodborne is Bloodborne. Elden Ring is Elden Ring. They're different experiences. Bloodborne is a linear game. Bloodborne is a linear game with side content. Elden Ring is an open world game with a variety of like areas to explore and shit. It's not the same game. It's not the same design. How would you even fit? Maybe there could be a way you could fit in procedural dungeons into Elden Ring. It's certainly possible, but it's not a requirement.
But Bloodborne's dungeons constantly reward players' time, with an endless blood-filled loop of conquering one labyrinth after another to dig deeper to the next boss.
Yes, but eventually you're going to see all there is to see. The game, yes, challenge dungeons are procedural, and there's a fair amount of content in the challenge dungeons. But eventually, you play them enough, you will see everything, and you will get every reward. Eventually, you will get every reward you could possibly get from challenge dungeons. You will see everything. Again, the difference between the challenge dungeons and the Elden Ring dungeons. Elden Ring dungeons are more linear, scripted, handcrafted affairs. Bloodborne's challenge dungeons are procedurally generated. They're RNG. But if you play either, like, with Elden Ring's dungeons, there's a seeable end. Like, eventually you will do all the dungeons, you will see all the dungeon content. With Bloodborne's challenge dungeons, you will also eventually see all the content. It will just take longer because of RNG. So, this is just a shit point. This is just a shitty fucking point, trying to use, like, the chalice dungeons as, like, oh, this is why this is why Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring, because of challenge dungeons. Okay, that's it? Just because of challenge dungeons? What about everything else?
Yes, Elden Ring is an open world game, and with that comes unique challenges for replayability. Conquering the world is such an enormous feat that subsequent playthroughs can feel cheap. Bloodborne's game...
That's totally fucking subjective. That's totally subjective. That totally varies from player to player, person to person. Why would you make this point? It's a worthless point. It's such a worthless point. It's totally subjective. Some people are going to fall in love with the open world of Elden Ring, just as there are people who fall in love with the open world of, like, let's say Zelda Breath of the Wild or various Ubisoft games. They just love the open worlds. They love existing in the open worlds. They love playing around in these open worlds. Sure, there are some people that will find repeat playthroughs cheap, but that's totally subjective. That's totally contextual to the individual person. Like, again, this is just a bad argument. That's just a bad argument. That's just a bad argument. It's a shitty argument. It doesn't prove that Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring. That just proves that, what? People have different opinions and are subjective. Jesus Christ.
Game design presents us with a more straightforward experience.
Yeah, Bloodborne's linear.
Revisiting the game never gets old, even after 7 years.
Evan! You fucking... Fuck. Oh, I've lost my patience with this fucking moron. Evan, that's subjective. That's totally subjective. Someone could play Bloodborne once and never want to play it again and be bored of it. That's totally subjective. That's unique to the individual. It's... I've lost my mind, folks. I've lost my mind. He's done it. Evan has broke me. Evan, you're a fucking... Not only are you a liar, but you're a fucking idiot. 100% subjective. That's totally unique to the individual. Whenever someone finds Bloodborne fresh to play, 7 years later, replaying the game, whether someone will, like, love it the second or 100th time through, or be bored the second time through and have no desire to play it again... Exactly, Prune. Subjective to a T. That, like, this isn't a point. This is a worthless fucking point. The name of the video, the title of the video is Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring. So far, what is this? Oh yeah, 5 minutes. Through this 5 minutes of you comparing the two games, you haven't made a single solid objective argument. You haven't made a single objective point of how Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring. All you've done is lie about Elden Ring, lie about Bloodborne, make bizarre comparisons that don't fucking work, and then make claims that are totally subjective and like would be thrown out in any debate. if we're having a debate about which game is better, your arguments right here would instantly be thrown out because they're totally subjective and worthless to the discussion, worthless to the debate about which game is better. God, Jesus fucking Christ. Terrible video, terrible arguments. Evan, this is a terrible video. You're a liar and a fool. Oh, God, let's keep going.
After completing Elden Ring, my immediate thought was to fire up my wind tunnel of a PS4 and jump back into Yharnam. But that's not how I wanted to experience the game again. Bloodborne has been collecting dust on PlayStation.
Okay, that's the end of that. Basically, the actual premise of this video is he just wants to praise Bloodborne and ask for Bloodborne to get a remaster or an upgrade or come to PC. That's the rest of the video. So the title of the video is Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring. Only 5 minutes is dedicated to that. The rest is just talking about Bloodborne, praising Bloodborne, and wanting Bloodborne to come to PC. Which, hey, I want Bloodborne to come to PC too. But this 5 minutes of his video, the Elden Ring comparison chapter, is god-awful. Absolutely god-awful. Okay, Evan, you like Bloodborne. Good for you. You like Bloodborne more than Elden Ring. Good for you. That doesn't mean Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring. Your arguments are terrible. You've lied about... In these 5 minutes comparing Elden Ring to Bloodborne, you've lied about Elden Ring multiple times. You also lied about Bloodborne too, which is crazy. I'm convinced. I'm absolutely convinced that... I don't think he's played either game. I honestly don't think... Based on his statements made on this video, I think he hasn't played either game, and this whole video is just clickbait, just here for views, just here to farm views from the Souls community. That's all this is. That's all this is. That's all this is. That's all I think this is. I don't think this video was made in good faith. I don't think this video was made from a place of, like, actual love and affection and passion for a property, for content, for a game. I really think this video was just made for views. I don't think this was I don't consider yeah, that's it. I don't think this video came from a place of passion. I don't at all. Oh my god. Here's the thing. If you want to make a video just praising Bloodborne, just make a video praising Bloodborne. Why'd you have to lie about Elden Ring? Not just that, there are so many things you can criticize about Elden Ring. Okay, I don't think we're going to get to the second video based on how long I've been streaming. So, we're going to talk about Evan's stupid video and talk about Elden Ring for a bit more, and I think I'll call it a stream there, because we've been streaming now for almost 3 hours. Holy shit, time flies. Have there been any more donations? Oh, yes, there have been. Thank you so much. Guilty and H? Thank you so much, guys. Holy shit. Okay. I'm going to have to tally that up. I'll tally that up later. Let's provide the content before we end this stream. Okay. So here's my thing. Elden Ring has problems. It absolutely has issues. There are so many things you can criticize about Elden Ring that are fair game. I'd argue that Bloodborne is a much fairer game. A much fairer game, a much more balanced game, a much less broken game than Elden Ring. That's a fair comparison you make. And if you want to say, hey, I like that Bloodborne is a more tight, more refined experience, totally get that. Totally fair. But when you start fucking lying and saying shit like, oh, fucking Elden Ring is a downgrade in terms of, like, combat variety and options and all this other bullshit, that's just not true. Like, oh my god, we can talk about with Elden Ring, we can criticize the bullshit hitboxes, as there are a few. We can talk about the insane, endless combos that certain enemies and bosses have that never give you a chance to recover or counter and force you to run away. We can talk about, oh, I already said the tracking, I already said the hitboxes. Oh, no, I haven't talked about I talked about the hitboxes, and I talked about the endless combos. The tracking enemies have, the way enemies are able to do a 180 spin to hit you is crazy. Some enemies don't have this insane level of tracking, others do. Oh my god. What else? Oh, the balancing. The balancing in Elden Ring is fucked. Mountaintop of Giants is way overtuned. Enemies do insane amount of giants once you hit the Mountaintop of Giants. It's very fucking strange. It's very, very strange. Azula? Farum Azula? Like, it's a mixed bag. I say it's fairer, a bit more well balanced. That area feels more finished than Mountain of Giants, but there's still some bullshit. There's still some enemies that do insane fucking damage. But besides that, I'd say it's a little bit better. Like, again, the Elden Ring's endgame areas have balancing. Yes, overscaled. Exactly. Overscaled. Endgame is overscaled. Late game, endgame is overscaled. There's some insane tracking, hit boxes, endless combos. There is shit we can legit criticize about Elden Ring. And stuff, there is stuff that Bloodborne did better. Bloodborne, again, it's a fairer game. It's a fair game. The challenge is fair. The amount of bullshit in Elden Ring is very little. There is some bullshit. There's always some bullshit in Souls games and From Software games. There's always a bit of bullshit. But Bloodborne, for the most part, is fair. Elden Ring has got quite a few bosses and enemies and areas in the game that just aren't fair. They just aren't fair, and basically are telling the player, okay, use the sandbox. Use our sandbox. Use all the weapons, weapon arts, break the game if you have to. Use our shit to overcome these challenges. The reused bosses, yeah, there's a lot of reused bosses and reused content in Elden Ring. Again, there is stuff about Elden Ring that you can criticize. Elden Ring has got problems, but it's still a great video game. It's still fantastic. It's great on many of the ways Bloodborne is great. They're both great games. Oh, man. Oh, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Again, Bloodborne's a great game. Elden Ring's also a great game. Is Bloodborne better than Elden Ring? I'd say you could make arguments for it, but Evan's video is not a good representation of good argumentation for why Bloodborne may be better than Elden Ring. You could make a good video. You could make good arguments about why you believe Bloodborne to be better than Elden Ring. You could make that video. You could make those good arguments. Evan did not. Evan decided to lie his ass off. He decided to just lie about Bloodborne, lie about Elden Ring, say things that are blatantly untrue about both games. Yeah, his arguments were so bad. It's a bad video. It's a bad video, and he should feel bad about it. Justin. Hey, man. Sorry. I'm going to be ending the stream soon, but I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance to get in on the dealio here. Have you played Elden Ring? We're talking Elden Ring. I recently beat Elden Ring. We just watched a bad video concerning Elden Ring. I also did a tier list. I also did a tier list ranking my favorite bosses and least favorite bosses in Elden Ring. So this live stream's been all Elden Ring. Oh my god! I totally forgot! At the beginning of the stream, I was going to give you guys an update as to future content. Okay, here's the plan. The next big Subverse content update is dropping soon. And as you guys all know, I am I'm tied to Subverse. Subverse is a part of me, and I was way too late in covering the last update and all its content. So, end of this month, so in a few days, Subverse is going to launch their next chapter, their next playable section of the game, release a new waifu, all that. So, I'm going to cover that content. So the next video you see from me will be in, I'd say, we'll say 4 to 5 days. You'll see a new video on the channel in 4 to 5 days from now concerning the new Subverse content. And once I get that Subverse video done, you're going to see a few Elden Ring videos from me because, well, Elden Ring consumed, oh, we got bots. We got bots. Hide user. Fucking bots. Unbelievable. Fucking bots. Yo, Tinderbot, big fan. So, Subverse video at the end of this month, the start of next month. That's where you see some video content from me. I want to be sure to actually get a Subverse video out on time when new content drops. So next video will be Subverse video, but after the Subverse video, Elden Ring videos. I'm going to make an Elden Ring video talking about the problems with the game, because it does have problems. And I'm glad that the honeymoon period for Elden Ring has ended and more people are criticizing the game for those issues. And yeah, I want to add my 2 cents, as it were. And once the criticism video is done, I'm going to make 2 videos. One praising Elden Ring and all the things I love about it, how it's a great game of the year material, and another video just talking about the world and why the open world of Elden Ring is so great, and the world building and storytelling through the open world is so great. It's so fucking fantastic. So, you're going to see 3 Elden Ring videos from me. You're going to see one criticizing it, one praising it, and one talking about the open world and world building. So, yeah. 4 videos in the future. A Subverse video at the end of the month, start of next month, and after that, I don't know how long this will take. I'll try to not make the videos too lengthy, too big projects. I will have to play a fair bit of Elden Ring to get the footage. But yeah, so 1 Subverse video, 3 Elden Ring videos in the future, and then we'll go on from there, and I'll decide what I want to make videos on next. No, don't apologize, Carcino. We're here to have a conversation. It's fine. Gonna be fine. Alright, guys, we're just about to hit the 3-hour mark. Let's just check coffee one last time, see if there's any last-minute donations. There have not been. Thank you so fucking much for your generosity, guys. Holy shit, thank you so much. This is gonna help my friends out a ton. Like, every dollar helps with the shit they're going through. Really appreciate it, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. I'll try and do another live stream before the Subverse video. Just give you guys some more content while I wait for Subverse to get more content so I can make content on that. I'll try and provide you guys some content in the interim. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me this live stream and talking about Elden Ring and ranting about bad Elden Ring takes. You all have a good one. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to Prune Pilferer for being such a super fucking generous guy. Holy shit, dude. You're crazy. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Thank you for dropping by. Have a good one. Good night. I'll see you all later. I'll try and stream again sometime next week. Maybe the weekend? We'll see. I'll see you all again soon. Thank you again. Have a good one. No problem. No problem, guys. All right, everybody. Stream ends in 5, 4, 3, 2,